Hey, what's going on everyone? Vega here for SerpentX Tech, and in this video we'll be looking at two laptop pads to see if it improves thermals on this ASUS G16 laptop that comes with the Hotbox Intel 13980HX and a RTX 4070 mobile graphics card. Now, this is my old laptop pad. Unfortunately, one fan doesn't work at all, the other one works intermittently, and it's powered via a USB type A. Most of these are. The biggest problem and the trend that I see with some of these laptop pads is they're not really made for your lap. Whether you're laying in bed or on the couch, they're really made for desktop use. So we got a new one here which supports 17-inch laptop, so it's just a little bit bigger than the old one, still dual fan. And I know there's better ones out there with like 5, 6 fans. It's really crazy how much they have. But the biggest issue is when you go to put one of those laptop pads on your leg, it really digs into your skin, and I'll show a screenshot of that. And unfortunately, that's not going to be comfortable for me in my use cases or my environment. And number two is because this new laptop isn't like the Acer, where the feet of the laptop sat on these feet of the trackpad or the laptop pad, there was an elevation, or at least the laptop was elevated a little bit, so that way airflow could come in and flow into the laptop. Now this particular laptop pad is very restrictive. That's the intake right there. There's nowhere else for it to pull air from, so it is restrictive there, but at least the fans would pull in air for the laptop to use. This new one has much more open air vents, airflow. The fans probably aren't much to write home about, but more importantly, the feet of the laptop will be able to sit on these areas and elevate the laptop off a little bit, giving us more room to breathe. I do have some performance numbers that we're going to go over here in just a moment to see if it did actually improve thermals. Because if I take this laptop and put it on here, let me show you what happens. So as you can see, the front of the laptop feet are making contact, and we do have a nice little gap right here for airflow to go, and that's going to go to the chipset because this laptop has 3 fans. But when we go towards the back where the CPU and GPU need the most air, it's basically making direct contact, so there's not really much airflow. And these side vents, including the back, is where all your airflow is coming out. It's sucking them from the bottom and then blowing it out towards the back or the sides. And on this laptop, we got the chipset fan right here. We got a CPU fan and then a GPU fan. So it's not really being conductive to dissipating that heat. Instead, it's hindering us a little bit. So with this new laptop pad from Targus, the newer model, we'll see if it does anything to help improve thermals. But more importantly, it's going to be better for my use cases, because not everybody wants to work at their desk because they can just use their desktop computer instead. So they want to put it on their lap. And as you can see with the new laptop pad, not only are we making contact in the back side, but we got a nice gap all the way through to the back feet of the laptop. So this should give us enough airflow for this laptop to improve its thermals. that was the data from various games, platforms that I played around with, trying to test out the thermal differences between the old laptop pad and the new one. And just having a laptop pad that obviously has one working fans, but enough gap below the laptop so that those fans can breathe, okay, did improve not only the thermals of everything, not just the CPU and GPU, but also it improved the core clocks. That was the most important thing, and we did see a performance uplift, because with laptops like these, we can't really overclock them like our desktops, right? Where we can overclock the CPU or the GPU. Now, the GPU, we can overclock a little bit using the Armory crate, and the CPU, just the hair, but it's really going to naturally boost itself based on Intel's prerequisites, as well as the GPU or Nvidia's GPU boost prerequisites, right? And by improving the thermals, we're increasing the boosting behavior. And what we saw on the CPU was anywhere from an extra 200 to 400 megahertz. And then on the GPU, it was like 75 to 100 megahertz. So very small amount, but still an amount that will help out in various workloads, performance, gaming, stuff like that. The unfortunate thing is, yes, you can go with one of those laptop pads that have an empty bottom and there's like 4 fans or whatever, and really improve the thermal conditions of your laptop. But most of those are meant to be placed on the desk, not on your lap where you're sitting or laying down in your bed or what have you. And so that kind of causes some issues, and we'll show that some of those laptop pads actually don't really have too much protection below it. So if it is sitting on your lap and you got loose fitted shorts or pants or whatever, you could suck up some material into the bottom of those fans and, cause some issues. And sometimes some of them are really bare, or they have really opened areas. So you can almost stick like a little baby can stick their pinky in there, and you got to be careful. Not that they would. I'm just saying that the bottom portion of it is not as protected. It's very open. And because the way they're designed, they would sit kind of awkwardly on top of your legs if you were sitting down or laying down. So some of those fans, or some of the air that the fans can pull in, will be blocked by your legs or a pillow or whatever platform you have it set on, which is why they can raise and elevate and all that other good stuff. But it's not convenient for my situation where I will be sitting down or laying on the bed doing some work. So this Targus laptop pad, even with just the 2 fans, improved thermals, but the biggest improvement was because of the gap underneath the laptop that allowed the feet of the laptop to be elevated, to make contact and to elevate it up. And so it does improve performance. Now, this isn't the biggest trendy video out there, but I hope it helps someone out there make a decision on what's best for them. If you can find a laptop pad that ticks all the boxes and allows decent airflow, or a good amount of airflow, so that way your laptop can breathe, it's always good. Matter of fact, there was a story where my son killed his HP fan because he basically put it on the quilt of his bed when he was laying down. And obviously most laptops are pulling air from below it and pushing it out the side. There's nowhere to breathe if you have it on a quilt or a couch pillow or anything like that. So you just got to be mindful. Try not to kill your laptops. But if you're looking for a laptop pad, Targus has always been one of my favorites. There's even one that's a little bit bigger or thicker. It just wouldn't fit my backpack, so I didn't go with that one. I went with the older generation model that has a flat, soft bottom, no airflow through the bottom. All airflow is coming in from the sides and then going up into the laptop. But that's going to do it for today's video. Please do me a favor on the way out. Hit the like button. Make sure to get subscribed, hit the notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out some of the links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here. I will leave a link down to the Targus laptop pads that I recommend in the description. If you're interested, just gives a small percentage to the channel, and I really appreciate your help. Besides that, you have yourself a wonderful day. Take care. I'll catch you next one.